Isn't it great to live in this world that we live in this kind of a new platform, new world of whatever you want to call it? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I don't know what you call this. It's not conservative, it's not liberal. It's the way things are and what you have to know, and how one thing leads to the other, and how one story really hides something else. The Tucker Carlson story is so great. I did a brand new, please subscribe, subscribe. And by the way, channel members always get the videos first. Always get the videos first. Did a great piece yesterday with my good friend Anthony Cumia, 2 hours. A 2 hour interview about everything, everything, because it's a new world. It's a new world. And what you're seeing right now is and are the internecine battles of something so monumentally fascinating. Ladies and gentlemen, the old school is dead. This is the thing. You are able to see something. A lot of time, dear friends, people are not able to. People didn't. I don't think at the time Neanderthals were falling by the wayside. Anybody was noticing? Hey, I think the Neanderthal. Notice how I pronounce it. I don't. The Neanderthals are going away. I think we're losing them. Nobody noticed at the time. Nobody noticed. Nobody noticed that. Hey, I think disco's gone. I think that nobody knew at the moment. Nobody got it. Nobody realized. Oh my God! I think this is. I think we're losing this major function. Millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars are being changed right now by virtue of this world that is changing in terms of the way it delivers information. Information is the currency. That's the Bitcoin. That's the cryptocurrency. That's the weird intangibles. That's what people have to understand. That's the NFT. That's it's information. And information is critical, absolutely critical. And what do you think is happening? What do you think? Right now, as we speak, dear friend, as we speak, Tucker Carlson yesterday, we're going to get to this in a moment, but I got to say this again, freaked everybody out by doing something which, in the scheme of things, is not that big of a deal. He interviewed Putin. Other people have done it. Oh, not since Ukraine. It would be better to get him before. Do you think you think you're going to catch him saying something? You think, oh my God, I let that slip. We'll talk about that. You know better than that, dear friend. And the abdication. I'm telling you, Charles, I'm not saying this laughingly. I'm not saying this out of any kind of delight. Something is very, very, very serious regarding Charles, King Charles III. We're going to get to that in a moment. But my friend, before we begin, please like the video, subscribe to these channels. Do what I say. Do what I say and not what I do. Do what I say and not what I do. Listen very carefully and listen first to our great, great sponsor regarding the most critical news you need, and you need it now. Let me ask you a question. Have you taken a good look at the banks lately? On the surface, everything seems fine, but there's a whole lot more going on underneath. It's like looking under the hood of a car and finding a mess of broken wires and parts. And the parts are loans for homes and cars and those credit cards we all use. And they're hitting record highs. It's most frightening when you think about it. Why risk your money for a tiny 5% return when things are so shaky? This is where Noble Gold Investments can help. They're like that friend who knows all about keeping money safe. They suggest gold and silver, oldies but goodies in the financial world. Plus, they've got a sweet deal. A free quarter-ounce gold standard gold coin this month if you qualify. Pretty cool, right? You better believe it. Now, if you're curious, just give them a call at 877-646-5347. It's just a chat. There's no pressure. They'll help you figure out if gold and silver are right for you. Or visit LionelNationGold.com and take the first step towards a safer financial future. LionelNationGold.com. And remember, there's always a risk of investment and there's no guarantee of any kind. Indeed, my friend, indeed. Now, as you know, right now, which is so critical for us to recognize, that our world is changing so drastically, it's not even funny. Changing at levels and at rates we can't even, well, I think anybody can even begin to grasp how much this has changed. Now, one of the things which I also love change. Change also is improvement. And since I've been a part of this, with you, we have seen everything change drastically. Ask yourself this question. How much smarter are you now than you were before? How much smarter are you now? Think about this. Than you were, say, a year ago, 5 years ago. Think what you know now. Think about this. We have 272 days until the election. When you meet people, do you ever find yourself saying, they don't know what I'm talking about? They look at you like, what are you talking about? I've got people talking about, did you hear about the Nevada primary? Hey, did you see that Senate bill? I'm not saying that's not important. Hey, did you see the story about Trump's not granted immunity? Stop. Is there anybody here who thinks that Trump should have been immune from criminal, assuming it's criminal? I know you're going to say it wasn't a criminal, which is a different story. But assuming a court finds his actions to be criminal, do you think anybody seriously did you ever expect Trump to not, or excuse me, to be immunized from this behavior? Did you? Anybody? Did you ever think this for a moment? If Joe Biden were to pull a gun out in front of TV and shoot Joe Biden, Dr. Joe Biden, on TV, do you think they couldn't charge him with murder? Anybody think that? Anybody? Do you think so? Did you ever think that if a president commits a crime while he's president, that somehow what? He's immune from being charged? But people say, well, don't you have to impeach him first? No. He can remain president, but he's going to be charged. You can arraign him. You can do whatever you want. Impeachment is a political move. Criminal prosecution isn't. Do you believe this? Did Trump ever believe that because you're president, you're immune? That you can commit a crime? By the way, that means you can charge Biden. And by the way, and you know this, if they charge Biden with some kind of crime, you'd say, that's great, right? Of course you would. Well, that makes sense. If you charge Biden with some type of crime that he's involved in, with Hunter or with whatever, of course you would say, well, that makes sense to me. You would say, of course he's not immune. He's still president. He's still president. Nobody's talking about impeaching him or removing him. Tell me you understand this. Tell me you understand this. Now, let me just understand this. Number two, ask yourself this question. And I'm going to go back to this. How much smarter are you now than you were before? And let me also ask you this question. Do you believe that the abdication, and I believe, I'm sorry to say this, but it seems to anybody who's paying any attention whatsoever that Charles is going to step down. He just got in. Was it 17 months? He just got in. He's been waiting his whole life. He's like Hillary Clinton. At least he was king for a while, or he's still a king. Hillary never got anything. She got senator or secretary of state. Nobody cares about that. Do you see the connection between the world, globalism, World Economic Forum, all these phony baloney environmentalists, how powerful he is? What is he going to do? What is Will's going to do? How does this change the monarchy? Do you believe that somehow, and I think people do, that the monarchy is just some titular kind of whatever? That it's this, oh, well, whatever it is, doesn't really matter. It's just this, some, pretend here's the king and queen. Of course you do, because you're an American and you don't know anything. And you never learned anything. And they never explained anything to you. And you've been watching Newsmax and Fox and these other pathetic news. They should be like this, news. You know how we do the peace sign? They should be like this. Because it's all nonsense. Everything is connected. We're talking about a chessboard with, here's the story. We have people coming this way. People coming. Our movement is here. But they're also cheating. They're taking away pieces. I said, excuse me. It's not just what you think. Raul says, I am tremendously smarter with the aid of YouTube. Oh, absolutely. Oh. What is happening regarding Israel blows my mind. Blows my mind. I cannot believe what I am learning. I'm not learning it here. Amy Goodman, Democracy Now! A couple of years ago, I said, this is some lefty show. This simpy, wimpy. Ugh. Amy, this is Democracy Now! Oh, boy. And the climate change. Shut up, you lefty, right? That's what you thought. You left-wing liberal simp, you phoebe, you and your Democracy Now! Shut up, you. Right? I know. I'm watching something the other day. They did coverage of a meeting of some sort. I don't know the name of it. That took place in Israel. We're basically saying we're going to go back and we're going to resettle Gaza now. Yay! I'm thinking, holy, oh my God! Did you? Wow! Whoa! Wait a minute, that was the whole thing. Then they're saying, we're going to go back. We're going to wait a minute. Okay. White Monkey says, King Charles should consult Jimmy Carter. I don't know what that means. Because of his illness? Because of his effete. See, I don't know what that means. Because he's a weak president because they're I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Much of what I see, I don't know what you mean. Much of what I see, I don't understand. But I'm going to work on this. I don't even know where to be. I see this. There's so much I want to talk about. Watch what they do with Tucker regarding this thing called MAGA. Anytime they want, see, we do the same thing too. Wait a minute, clarification. White Monkey says, because Carter was 90 and beat brain cancer. Okay, well, yes. Now, I'm going to answer that question, White. Number one, we don't know what kind of cancer it is, number one. Number two, it depends on what kind of brain cancer. I do not believe it was a glioma or a glioblastoma, which is the most deadly of any form there is. I don't know. It's interesting. May I just say something to you? And I want you to understand something. You don't beat cancer. It just doesn't kill you. Let me see if I can explain this to you. You can have a very non-aggressive form of cancer in a type of cancer which is very treatable. People have said in the old days that testicular cancer was treatable, thyroid cancer was treatable, prostate sometimes, breast cancer people do far better. And there were certain forms that are not particularly good. Pancreatic, brain, gliomas. Gliomas, by the way, glioblastomas are they actually become part of the brain itself. It's not even a cancer. It basically becomes the brain. It's I don't want to say it's wild, but sometimes the genius of the disease. So if you're lucky and you get the treatment and you go into kind of a remission and it doesn't come back and it's non-aggressive and whatever it is, look at Jimmy Buffett. Remember his cancer? Jimmy Buffett cancer. He had Merkel cell carcinoma. The cause of death was a type of skin cancer called Merkel cell carcinoma. Remember that one? Did you ever hear about that? Now, of course, what do I know? I'm not a physician. I have no idea. How about some people to get something salivary gland cancer? Who was it who? Listen to this. Do you remember? Remember, Farrah Fawcett had anal cancer. Anal cancer, the cancer that arises from the anus, the distal opening of the gastrointestinal. Anal cancer, not colon cancer. Anal. You ever heard about that? Did you hear about that? Now, layman, us. So let me just say something to you. You can do whatever you want. If you ever get a disease, do whatever the doctors tell you. I mean, to an extent, depending upon what it is. But this idea that I'm going to go out, I'm going to take it on. No. You just better hope to God it's not something that's so aggressive that there's nothing you do. Because if it wants to kill you, it will kill you. Because you mean nothing to disease. You mean nothing. It's just opportunistic. Life is a crapshoot. It's just crap. It's just crap. You can quote me on that. It's entropy. It's random disorder. It's just one of those things. Don't think that good luck. Want to make God laugh? Tell her your plans. Good luck with this. Good luck. Go to cemeteries. Go look. All of them, indispensable people. All of those people, the salt of the earth. veterans, and there's good people, but some old age, some not. I love to see the look. See, you do a quick calculation. Wow, that was young. That was I wonder what happened there. Well, that's real young. Wow, that's. I talked to my friend Anthony Cumia yesterday. Anthony Cumia had a bypass surgery. He's lucky he's not dead. He's lucky he's not dead. Lucky. Well, my family. Don't give me that crap about your family. You're lucky. You get all of a sudden some coronary artery that has a little bit of inflammation on it, a little pimple, little nodule. Not hard plaque, not that hard stable plaque, but this gushy, smooshy stuff. Blood flows by, and then one day there's this one little cellular area. This kind of a spider web thin capsule encapsulated, piece like a zit. Think of it because inflammation is really what the problem is. All of a sudden it pops and boom, you get a thrombus, pow, you're dead. That's it. Dead. Ischemia. We're an obligate aerobe. So Prince Charles, I don't know what you've got. Nobody's asked me. I'm not a physician. But you never know anything. Nothing. Anyway, but that's another story. Right now, the world is there, and the globalist, the extreme, the militant environmentalists are people you better really be careful about and really think about. These people are scary. Very, very scary. And let me tell you what they're going to do right now. Watch what they do. Keep an eye. You notice I'm going back and forth to topics. Does this bother you? Hope not. Some people get very upset. They hate that. Is he talking about this? But he's talking about this now. I know. It's a conversation. Did you ever have a conversation with somebody? Yeah. Notice how you talk about this. Somebody walks in. You remember something? Yeah. You can handle that. Right? Can't you? Let's go back to Tucker. They're going to do a number on him. What do you think our intel people have done on him? A, they're going to lower the boom. Then it's too obvious. B, he's already working for them. Years ago, William Casey, when he was a CIA chief, if he met with somebody, he would always bring some kind of a little, like a rumor has it, like a little microphone or something. He would secrete it in the furniture or the couch or whatever it is. Oh yeah, this guy's good. This guy's real good. That's what he would do. That's what they would do. They would do that. They're very good at that. Very, very good. And it's fascinating how that works. Fascinating. So you don't understand. Tucker's got folks. His old man's connected. He's lived in D.C. his whole life. Does anybody here think that Tucker's really on the outs? Does anybody think that he's an outsider? Anybody? Do you think Tucker's just some guy that doesn't know how this thing works? You don't think that somebody somewhere is going to say that he's truly? I mean, do you believe Elon Musk is your friend? Do you believe Elon Musk? Come on, do you? Do you believe this? Do you believe anything? Do you believe Trump is what he is? Do you believe that Biden is what he is? Do you believe anything? No. You kind of have an approximation. It's like going into a room at night, you're coming back to your hotel room and you're not familiar and the lights are off and you don't want to bump into anything. You don't want to turn the lights on because you don't want to wake your wife up, but you just kind of, and you got to remember, how was this before? But there was something over here. And that's kind of the way we do. We kind of walk around like, okay, Tucker's old man for the longest time, was I think Reagan or something. Anyway, so he's lived in D.C. He's been with these people for the longest time. He didn't he want to have some kind of a didn't Tucker have some CIA connection one time? Didn't Tucker have some? Let me see. Tucker. Remember this? Remember Tucker? He said, "Oh, Tucker is mom on CIA recruiting." Remember this? He said that. Let me see. Tucker. Hang on. I think it was Tucker Carlson. Oh, he was a CIA reject. Remember that one? Remember how he wanted to do that? Remember how Bill Buckley was CIA? There's this thing within the. See, you got to understand. Let me see if I can go back to something for a moment. I want you to read the dossier. Okay, I want you to read the dossier. I want you to understand how this thing works. If you ever want to meet him, understand him. First of all, he's a blue blood. Thinks he is. He thinks he's better than you. He thinks he's a man of the people, though. I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna, fly fish, and I'm gonna hang around men. He loves men. Now, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying homosexual, which is okay, but he really acts like a giddy little boy when he's around alpha or with people that he believes to be alpha. Dave Portnoy, who's a cretin. Andrew Tate, who's despicable. Kid Rock, who's another one like, hey, I'm a tough guy. He loved it. John Daly. Wow, I want to be like. He really gravitates. You don't think that Putin's FSB folks picked up on that? Of course. They know him inside and out. I've seen this. That's the kind of guy. So Tucker also fancies himself smarter than the rest. He thinks he's smarter than you. And he thinks that he's got you fooled. Like, they don't know I'm really, like, I'm one of the Nantucket guys who wears the pink pants and the topsiders and you know what I mean? And I wear a sweater around my neck and I got a bunch of dogs and oh, come on, stop it. Met this type my whole life. Understand something. You gotta get him. Look at the NASCAR crowd. It's not NASCAR. Look at the read the audience. Read it. Go back to Prince Charles. What was Prince Charles all about? Oh, that guy is a mess. Prince Charles was the little sensitive boy who never was really given his due. He hated his father. His father hated him. This is my son. He had two sons. Andrew, that Lord, look up Andrew, Google Andrew Lord Porchester. Look it up, do the math, come up with your own decision. Who does he have? Edward? You never hear about Edward, huh? Edward was a dancer. Okay, nothing wrong with that. John Travolta was a dancer. Well, whatever. Jimmy Cagner was a dancer. Okay. Whatever. Let's just move on. Okay. Charles had Philip. Philip put him in that terrible, terrible school he went to toughen him up. This was a sensitive young man who wanted to do watercolors of Balmoral and talk to plants. And all he wanted was his girl, the one he liked. He really, really cared for her, was Camilla. And Charles was this ugly, full Windsor. You know how, remember when they go, don't go full retard. Don't go full Windsor. Gee. I mean, he, put it this way, Princess Anne looks like Shannon Tweed compared to this. I mean, dear God. So you've got that. And he's hanging around. And remember the time he says, "I want to be your tampon and your knickers," and when he wanted Camilla, and then he gets stuck with he just his whole life. So finally, do you know that they iron his shoelaces? So they say. I mean, this guy's been involved in this thing. He lives in a world nobody. So this is his chance. This is his chance. And this. And who's the one to look at? Wills. That's the tough guy. And you see it oh yeah. Stand by for a second, my friends. Stand by. Listen very, very carefully to this. This is a sponsor. If you know anything about disaster or are concerned about what you would do in the case of disaster, listen to this very special. When the economy collapses, will you collapse with it? You can feel it coming. All signs are there. With it comes financial disaster, tight budgets, and sacrifice. So plan for the worst with the best. My Patriot Supply has helped millions prepare, and they'll help you too. Hard times take years to recover from. So make that first year easier with their first 1-year emergency food kit. Get it now with $700 in savings at my website, preparewithlionel.com. Sealed inside ultra-durable packaging, these delicious meals last up to 25 years in storage and provide over 2,000 calories every day. That's over 2,000 calories every day for a year at a special price of under $2,000. This rare emergency food kit deal ends this week. You won't see it again soon. So protect yourself, protect your people, protect your family. Start preparing with My Patriot Supply at preparewithlionel.com. Free shipping including. That's preparewithlionel.com. One more time. preparewithlionel.com. Okay, my friends. Now, this is a deal. This is very interesting. And I want you also to think about how this works. Here comes Wills. Okay. Prince William, is the guy right now. You're going to ask yourself, now, is he going to pick up this crazy, goofy, lunatic idiocy regarding, the New World Order stuff? The whole, environmentalist and all that, climate change, DEI, because let me tell you something, the globalism, as far as the rest of the world goes, is serious. And people are so furious with what's happening. The farmers are revolting. Not revolting, but they are in the middle of revolt. And they are people that are absolutely, positively, they are incredible. They are absolutely, positively, it is incredible what's happening. Incredible. Because they're basically being told that nitrates and nitrogen-based fertilizer is verboten. I mean, it's just insane. It is insanity. How's William going to handle that? What's his real story? He was really mama's favorite, mama's first. And 2 kids. I've always thought, and I have no reason to believe this, but I wouldn't be surprised. If one of the reasons Harry, by the way, Harry has been a mess since forever, is that he believes that maybe they had some terrible things happen to his mother. And the guy that I would put number one, if ever there was a villain, it was Prince Philip. He hated her. Oh my God, hated her. Despised Diana. Despised her. And you know who he despises even more, or did, is Meghan. He called Meghan the Duchess of Windsor. Remember that one? Wallace Simpson. See, Let me see if you can understand this. Imagine going through going through life where you actually believe this divine succession nonsense that you're there pursuant to God's will and plan. You're there. You're not just somebody who's, Lizzie, some Windsor offspring. No, no, no. You're a part of history. It's so heady. Americans don't have that. Yeah, you might be a Rockefeller. Yeah, you might be this. Yeah, you might. Not like this though. You are the country. You are, oh my God, this lineage, the king, and you're groomed, and you have people with you all the time, and they tell you history, and they tell you everything, the way you walk, the way you talk, every single thing. Who is going to run this? Say what you want about Queen Elizabeth. She knew this from the time she was, when her father, her king died, her father, she took over right away. She held this thing together. This is serious. Really serious. She went through everything and knew it and was steely. Really was good. Chuck never had the chance to do it. Nobody really took him seriously. He was like that goofy kid who talked to flowers, who walked around with this. He wanted Camilla and he had Diana. And here comes Will. And the story is what's going on with Kate. Now, I know you don't care about that because you're an American. This is the one. I've got my people. And we are looking, we can't, this is so tight, this information. I mean, there's been, even the blinds are quiet about that. We don't know. What's going to happen to Meghan Markle? What's going to happen next? What does this do to the rest of the world with this new will it change? I predict that Will's is going to be iron-fisted. He's going to be more traditional than anything you've ever seen. Big time. Does that mean he makes a break? What kind of a deal does he make? How does he fit in? Is he going to be a part of the new? And what is the new? Is this globalist environmental crap? Listen, all of us here want to say, clean the rivers, clean the air, stop pollution. Yay! Real pollution, not electric vehicles and EVs. And no. Pick up the trash. No more littering. If there's a way to keep the air clean and to stop smog, and we're all for it. That's not what we're talking about right now. Do you see what's happening? Tell me you see what's happening. Tell me. Just nod once. Tell me you know what's going on. Very strange things happening to the royals. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. You are correct. Isn't that odd? Don't you see this? I like this. The same people Rome outlawed are behind all this stuff, everything. Interesting. Not really sure about that. Let me just also tell you something. Listen to me very, very carefully. The how do I say this? The folks who ran the show, the Club of Rome. Remember the March on Rome? I can't believe it. The centenary of fascism. Nobody cares about it. Nobody. We are right now in a position which is so, and I just want you to understand something. Please remember something. Trump is not God. He does not come off of a horse like Pegasus with golden wing. No, stop it. Elon is not to be trusted. And don't think for 1 minute that Tucker Carlson is your friend. He would not like you. You're not in his league. He doesn't want to hang around you unless you're into MMA. And let me also tell you something about this. One of the things, and listen to me carefully, stop talking for just a second. Listen to me, especially if you have kids. Try to give your kids everything you possibly can. Not money. Give them a strong mother, strong father, strong family, strong unit. Why is that important? A mother and a father do two things more than important. They establish gender identity, critical, but not just what a man is. You know, women sit down, men stand up. No, 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 no. I'm talking about identification. Women. How many women here today? How many women right now? How many women can say that you wish there was something that you had a relationship or you wish or maybe whatever with your father? Your father is the first man you've ever had to deal with. Now, mothers and women, mothers are different. Mothers for boys and girls are different because mothers theoretically adore you because it's part of their thing. It's this nurturing thing and they don't really care. I mean, to an extent, mothers can have favoritism, but it's a different world. One of the reasons I believe, very frankly, that both genders typically find women attractive. When I talk about that, you notice how women can say, "Oh, she's so beautiful." Men can say women are beautiful because women have to be attractive to babies because of mother. There's something that's nurturing about women. That's why when you see this and when you see some of this TikTok stuff, it's like, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature. I'm not being old fashioned, but there's a reason for this. But how many women? Look at this. Someone, I'm not going to mention your name. My father didn't like me. He tried. Think about that. This is one of the things. Too many parents want to be kids' friends. That might be true. We're not talking about that. My dad and I had a great relationship with my parents. Good, good. Very, very good. It's very important. Very important. And what's also very important is realize is especially when you see young women who are the product of divorced families. Because what happens? Daddy leaves. Kids don't understand divorce. This is abandonment. And many people will go for the rest of their lives trying to fill it. There's this part of their psyche that's always a little cracked, a little fractured, and they always kind of Tucker needs would be fantastic to reveal on the couch, so to speak, his Freudian, his makeup. You can see it. You can see it in what he finds attractive, the people he wants to hang around with. Okay. Look at Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg, all of a sudden, he's into this MMA stuff. Not anymore. You notice that? Hey, I'm choking people out. Okay. The real tough guys, the real McCoys don't have any of that stuff. There's nothing overt about the way they act and the way they think and the way they exhibit themselves. They don't. The real tough guys. Have you ever had a grandfather? There's a guy named Brett Ernst, and I haven't heard him in a while. He did some of the best. I loved his stand up, but he talked about the fact that I think his grandfather raised him. He says his grandfather smelled of like gasoline and Old Spice or something, and they had a hand like these old men. They could. He said, who was it? Somebody was it Richard Pryor? He said sometimes you'll meet like an old man who's been working. He talked about a black man who was working one time, and his hands were like sandpaper. You could just like light a match. Their whole life, they're just tough. They were in the military. Brett Ernst says his grandfather could come up and get you like in a nerve pinch and like incapacitate you. Not wouldn't stand there and the toughest guys in the world. World War II. There was this guy one time that we knew. Their father was this little old Italian man. He looked so cute, looked so sweet. He's got a little Yankees hat. Oh, he lived to be. And then we're at some place and they have his D-Day stuff. He was Norman to be actual D-Day, and they have his picture and his CIB and the whole bit. And this guy was a killer. He had a look, and he was a little guy, just whatever, but just like, whoa. Now, you want to talk about tough? Forget this MMA stuff. Forget the Gracie family and Joe Rogan and tattoos. And no, 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 no. And they put it behind them. He could be tough, but he wasn't. He didn't have to show you this. He didn't have to do it. There were some people in the mob world that you would never, ever, ever, ever guess anything. But in their realm, see, that's authentic. That's authentic. And always go through life and looking for the real deal, somebody who's really, honestly, the way they purport to be. Not a phony, not a poser, not somebody who pretends. And everybody's got to tell. Everybody's got something. You just listen to them. When you go to a mall, sit and watch. Look at people. Look at the way they walk. Do you ever see a family with the husband's handpicked? I know I'm using a phrase, but there's just something to it. I've got this one group. If I met you, the wife's a nut. The husband has no balls, and she rules the roost. And the very first thing that in me, it kills me. I say, I would love to go in and just break that up. Just break. You've got to be dethroned. And that's what life is. It's like standing up for people who need help, standing up for people who really, seriously, and going in there and saying, they don't scare me. They don't scare me. This one doesn't scare me. I realize what I'm saying. You have no idea what I'm talking about. And I recognize that fact. Please, don't think it hurts my feelings. I understand you have not the slightest idea of what I'm saying. And that's okay. But maybe you'll understand this. Well, it is time yet again, my friends, to hail and salute our great friends at mypillow.com. And if you use promo code Lionel, you'll get a free gift. No purchase necessary. And yes, I know, a free gift. It's a tautology, so sue me. But first, please listen. What are we talking about here? Down comforters, flannel sheets, Giza Dream bed sheets, MyPillow 2.0 sheets, slippers, percales, towels, quilts, bedspreads, mattresses, mattress covers, mattress toppers, linens, kitchen towels, bathrobes, name it. Literally name it. Items to help you luxuriate and relax. And they're monster sellers. Slippers. My slippers. That's right. Slip-ons, moccasins. Think about it. What do they do at MyPillow? They make things real soft and plush and comfy. How perfect. Now here's the link. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel, or MyPillow.com /Solidus or Virgil /Lionel, or call 800-645-4965. And watch how fast Mike answers the phone. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel, simply and absolutely the best. All right, dear friends. By the way, very interesting stuff here. My dad saw the concentration camps, changed him forever. Yes. Oh, look at this. Mac P. Duff said, I just unpacked my set of MyPillow towels yesterday. Good for you. Good for you. Have you ever talked to Grandma Onion and Garlic Breath and Scented Hands? Yes. Oh, let me tell you something. And I'll tell you this right now. To me, what breaks what just melts me is like I had like a nonna. That was more Sicilian. Italians called it nonna, the abuela and all. You get somebody like an aunt or a grandmother who wears like about 200 pounds and they're just big and they're like fluffy and they wear aprons and let me tell you something. That's the greatest. It's the greatest there is. Absolutely 100% authentic. That's the thing which I'm talking about is authenticity. There's so many phonies everywhere that we're doing. I'm watching, YouTube, whatever, and all of a sudden I'll go through these dance numbers, these dance things. Like, what is this? The new thing is, I'm a healthcare worker. No, you're not. And I'm dancing. I said, okay. OnlyFans, and look at me, and I'm fake. This is my cover for the social media created this absolute fake. And then there are these people who, have you seen the ones who talk about war and they were in Iraq and they were in SEAL Team 6. And it's funny, the people that I know who were in war, they never talk about it. They just never. And they never forget it. And it does something to them. It's authentic. It's real. It's the real McCoy. It's the real thing. It's, you know what I mean? This is all I learned. Well, in my politics, just tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. One of the reasons why I have such a disdain towards Joe Biden isn't because of his policies. I don't believe in him. There is no Joe Biden. He doesn't say what he doesn't say what you want about Donald Trump. Donald Trump may be a lot of things, but he's not insincere politically. He sticks to it. Whatever your position is, Israel or Ukraine or whatever it is, just say it. Don't waver. Don't lie. Say it. That's it. Just say it. Period. I want real. That's all I want. I want something real. It's a great Phoebe Snow song. Something real. Absolutely. All right, my friends. You have been terrific. Wasn't this fun? We talked about a lot of good stuff today. Committed to memory. Remember, take from this. Don't just look at the Nevada primary. No, it's okay. Look at the big picture. Where we fit in life. Where we fit in. By the way, got to know what. You ready for this? October 26th. Right before the election, the next Cutting Room show, the erectile dysfunction. No, not erectile. Electile. What am I saying? Electile dysfunction. Right before the biggest election ever. Wow. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious and a wonderful and a beautiful day. We'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. But don't forget, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.